Hi, this is Scott, and when I want to know what's going on in the wide world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Looking for the inside track on everything sports? You've come to the right place. Welcome to Sports World Radio, the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet with your hosts, Jeff Escow and Elliot Big E Lomba.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Glad you all could be here with us. Lots and lots to do here on Sports World Radio. Let's get all particulars out of the way, and then we'll tell you what we're going to do. We're doing a shortened show today because there's 2 NFL games. We'll get to all that in just a minute. This is Sports World Radio. We do it each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. If you live anywhere else, figure that crap out for yourself, because I sure as hell ain't doing it for you. Sports World Radio is brought to you by ProfessionalRecordingStudioEquipment.com. Head on over there, pick up your microphones, your mic cords, your mic stands, your pop filters, anything you need at ProfessionalRecordingStudioEquipment.com. Like our Facebook page at Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. That's Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. While you're doing that, head on over to Twitter at Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. Also, head on over to SportsWorldRadio.com, and when the box appears, notification bar appears, click allow so you never miss a special episode or special show or anything we got going on at Sports World Radio. With all that being said, what do you say? Hey, we get the second half of Sports World Radio in here. The one, the only, Elliot Big E Lomba. What's going on there, buddy boy?
What's up, Jeff? How you doing, man?
Good, pal. How are you?
Wow, hanging in, man, hanging in. I got a little bit of a football hangover from the first full Sunday of the season, so I'm kind of like waiting. You know how they say when you have a hangover, the best thing to do is start drinking again.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for the games to come on.
I bet you are. I bet you are. Hey, let's grab the other co-host here on Sports World Radio, the one, the only, Scott the Sports Nerd. What's up, bud?
Fellas? How we doing today?
What up?
How's the weather out there in Florida, fellas?
It's hot and muggy, and it was even hotter and muggier in my office today.
It was very wet earlier.
Was it?
I had to swim out to my truck to go get myself a bus stop.
Wow. Well, hey, let's say hello to some people in the room. We got Brett, we got SWT Pistons, and Scooter. You're in the house too. Welcome, buddy.
Colin in the house.
I sent him the link in Skype, so you can thank me for being here.
Cool.
Coming in.
Hey, do we want to grab him and have him come on in with us?
Why not? If he wants to come on up, let him come on up.
Scooter, are you ready to come on in? Let me know if you're ready, buddy.
He's always got something to say. So.
Yeah, let me know when you're ready, and we'll bring you on in, buddy. And you know what? Let's do this first. Yeah, you move to the desk.
Let us know when you're settled in, and we'll start talking wrestling. How's that?
Yeah, right. We'll do our wrestling segment first, our short wrestling segment first, and then we'll get into football.
All right. So speaking of that, who kept track of the picks on the wrestling?
You want to do wrestling first, really quick, and then we'll
get that out of the way so we could jump right into football and blast right through it.
Yeah, because Scott started it in the green room. How'd you like that pay-per-view, boys?
Yeah, whatever.
I didn't like the ending very much. I'll tell you that.
Did anybody write down the picks? No,
I didn't write them down, but we all picked Becky to win, right?
Yep. Becky Lynch. There you go.
I said it would either be Becky or Nikki, but I figured Nikki, they wouldn't give it to her that quick coming back.
Right. I'm glad they
would really be showing favoritism.
I'm glad they gave it to Becky.
Yeah, I mean she's been put on the burner for a while now.
Yeah, I just didn't like the way the night ended with AJ Styles kicking Ambrose.
Well, let's talk about the other stuff really quick first before we get to the meat and potatoes of the main event.
Well, you want to know the truth? I think the women's match and that last match. Actually, no, the women's match,
the tag team championship match. I did enjoy that one.
That was good. The
first one or the second one?
The last one.
I didn't like the first one.
No,
because the Usos tried to cripple them. They tried to cripple Zack Ryder like they did the other guys.
Yeah, they're turning the Usos bad, obviously.
Obviously, I didn't know that they had already been turned.
Yeah.
I hadn't realized that. So that's why I thought that the other guys were going to win. But regardless, I knew that whichever one of those won was going to lose because, like I said, Rhino and Heath. that was just something that was put together to make sure that he's got a contract.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
You
Bueller, we're getting a double wide.
That was hilarious.
That was hysterical.
That was hysterical. Double wide.
That was hysterical, man. That
But
was cracking up.
yeah, they did. They came through. What other? I don't understand why it took so long to get to Randy Orton costing Bray Wyatt a match. Why didn't they just have a match?
Because obviously Randy couldn't walk.
Well, because this dude was crippling his leg on a door jam.
Right. So that's why they made the match between Kane
I understand that, but why go through all that and not just give us the match that was scheduled that everybody was looking forward to?
I don't know.
Why do you want to stick Kane into the mix?
That's a good point, Scott. Maybe his head isn't healed enough since that battle with Brock. Maybe
Considering that, yeah, I can see that why that would be. But still, ask Inky. Inky's AOL. I mean,
man,
she don't want to know nothing about wrestling when she's not working.
AWL, man. I haven't heard from her in weeks.
Last
time I talked to her,
we heard from Shocker since we actually heard from Shocker.
Shocker was here yesterday, and
yeah.
Right? Football. He goes, I go, where you been? He goes, football's back. I'm here.
Here on a Sunday, for sure.
I'm here every Sunday because he's not working. Well, you know what? We'll see a lot of him soon coming in a couple of months because you know him. He takes his 7-week vacation at the end of the year.
That 6-pack challenge was really good, really entertaining.
Okay. Brian, we'll bring you in right after we're done talking to wrestling.
And then what else? Was that pretty much?
I like the women's match. That was really cool. That Miz match.
Yeah, to me, it's just why do they keep dogging Dolph Ziggler?
Obviously, you're between Miz and Daniel Bryan. That's obvious.
Well, yeah, that's got to be the.
That's obvious.
And Daniel Bryan's going to turn around and win the championship.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right. Exactly right. That's obvious. They're gearing up towards that for sure.
So now the main event. Before we go any further,
I didn't like the way it ended.
I knew it was going to end that way.
That was ridiculous.
I picked AJ Styles. You know why? Because the fact of the matter is that AJ Styles needed to have the title for when John Cena comes back.
Yeah, but when's he coming back?
He'll be back in October. You see, and I was reading an article today, and I posted it on Facebook that they're taking Dean Ambrose out of the title picture because of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So does he get a but he gets a rematch, right?
He gets a rematch. So. Yeah.
I don't think they're going to give him one, honestly. But I think what I'm thinking is that they might be setting up to send Dean Ambrose back to Raw, so that they could get the whole Shield
together again,
going again. I think that's a distinct possibility.
Right.
So, but yeah, AJ, it's like they said, he couldn't be the face that ran the place if he didn't have the title. Right.
Now you got to hear that. It's a good thing we have to wait till tomorrow to listen to that crap.
Well, tonight, there is Raw for
tonight.
Right. Those who want to shift between football and wrestling. Right. I'm sure that Brian's not one of those. But
I'll be watching wrestling once 8 o'clock comes.
Once 8 o'clock comes around, screw football, it's wrestling time. I got my DVR, so that's always a big help. Huge help.
Yeah, not so much.
All right, well, let's bring Brian in. I think that's
send him an invite.
Right.
And he declined it, so I don't know what that
was. Brett.
Oh, it was Brett. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's a Brett.
There he is. Mr.
Right.
Scooter.
Oh, he's sporting Steelers stuff tonight.
Sporting his Steelers gear tonight. That's right. He is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He is my arch nemesis when it comes to NFL football.
I think it's going to be a slugfest, to be honest with you.
See, Scooter's got 7 wins like I do.
Yeah, I was right there. I'm like,
yeah, Scooter's locks. Yeah, I got that.
Those are some locks, buddy boy.
Scooter's locks are 50-50.
Hey, Scooter, you and I locked right on in there, pal.
You get 50% off at Scooter's locks.
I tried to pick some sleepers that I thought might be able to get in there.
They really did. Hey, you sang a lullaby to them because they stayed asleep.
Yeah. There was a lot of good games yesterday, though, man. I mean, how many of them finished so close at the end, or were fourth quarter games?
4 1-point games yesterday. First time in the first week of the season ever.
4 1-point games, yeah.
Yes. Unfortunately, the Browns game was not one of them.
Oh no. That wasn't one. That wasn't even a 1-point game. Any point of the game. I mean, once Eagles created separation, that was done. And then it appears that RG3 is on the IR now.
He has a broken bone in his left shoulder.
Ouch. So what are you guys going to do?
Let the Josh McCown era begin once again.
Once again. It kind of brings back scab football. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, it's what we've had since 1999. I'm just going with the flow, brother.
Don't even get me started talking about that factory of sadness they call it.
I got a tweet from Derek today. He says, "I need to switch teams because the Browns are exhausting, and he doesn't even like them." Yeah, and my bold prediction didn't come true. I had a bold prediction yesterday, Brian, that RG3 would throw.
Here we go. Let me
throw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Real quick. Wow. I didn't come close either. I had the bold prediction where there are 3 games that were going to finish with 75 or more points. Only 2 did. Well, actually 2 fell just a few points shy. One of them wasn't even close. As far as Scott's RG3, he predicted 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no turnovers or no interceptions. He finished with, and I'm being gracious here, he finished with 227 total yards,
including rushing.
No touchdowns, and 1 interception.
And 1 broken shoulder.
Okay, so let's see. Derek said that Derek Carr would have 400 yards, Amari Cooper 200 receiving yards, and Latavius Murray 150 rushing yards against the Saints.
Right.
Well, that didn't work out either. Carr had 319 yards. Cooper had 137, and Murray had 72 combined, only 59 rushing. So that didn't work out. The closest one was actually Nick. He said Carson Wentz would have 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had 278 and 2. So out of the bold predictions, although no one hit their bold prediction, Nick was pretty close. Pretty damn close. All right, and what else we got going on? Let's see. Oh, the high lows for the week. Remember we picked higher, lower?
The high lows, right.
Okay, so here's where we are up until today. There are 32 out of 35 that I registered because of these reasons. These 3. Matt Forte was actually a push. Okay, so he was projected to score 18, and that's exactly what he scored, 18 on the button.
Wow.
So that was a push. Keenan Allen was injured. He was on his way to surpassing his projected, but then he got injured, so I scratched that one. Okay. Don't count it as a win or a loss. And then Chris Ivory, who did not play because he wound up in the hospital, I scratched that one as well. So those 3 were taken off the board. Now, as far as I'm going to read these real quick, and I'll tell you what the results were after I'm done. For in the Bucs game, Jameis Winston, the target was 18 points. Everybody said higher, 25.54.
Good game for
Really good
Jameis
game
yesterday.
for Winston. Yeah, he threw 4 touchdowns?
Yes, he had 4 touchdowns yesterday. Yes.
You picked the wrong guy to go
Yeah,
bold
I know,
on.
right?
I think you got the wrong quarterback. Right prediction, wrong quarterback. All right, Julio Jones. His target was 20. He came in lower with 14.6. We all said lower except for Nick. He got that one wrong. Okay. Adrian Peterson, target 20, score 3.1.
Yeah, they keyed on him yesterday all day long. I mean,
that is
Minnesota's defense played out of
I
their
feel
mind.
bad for those of y'all out there that spent a first-round pick because Adrian Peterson might be suffering games like that a lot.
As long as the quarterback in there is who he is, yes.
He's lost a step, and defenders have gotten quicker. Have they not, Brian?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. A lot quicker.
Exactly.
It was Tennessee.
Yeah.
And it was Tennessee. And if it wasn't for 2 turnovers that went back for touchdowns, Tennessee would have beat the Vikings yesterday.
Yes.
Yep.
So Sam Bradford needs to learn that book real quick.
Yes. They're gonna I bet he's gonna have a very quick week.
Oh yeah. They're gonna be drilling him with tape. He's gonna have tape coming out of his ears, his nostrils, and his you know what. All right, Marcus Mariota, target was 18. He gave it quite a run, but 16.74. We all said lower. RG3. 15 was the target. Scott was the only one that said higher. He scored 9.3.
Boy.
Okay, Ryan Matthews. Everyone said lower. He did come in lower. He was posted at 17. He came in at 13.7. AJ Green. We all said higher. He did higher.
Yeah.
15 was the target. He scored 30.
He had a good game.
Yeah. AJ blew up Revis Island yesterday.
Yes.
Well, no, remember now, as I've changed the name to Revis Lilypad.
Yes, of course.
That's what it was last night.
It's no longer an island, my friend.
That's correct.
Okay. Next up, Raiders, Derek Carr. The target was 20. We all said higher. He finished with 22.36.
There you go.
He was a little slow in the beginning, though. I mean,
He was.
wasn't putting up very many fantasy points at the start. But then he got in the groove. And eventually, what do you think about the ball they had to go for the 2-point conversion?
I made the comment last night on our show that Jack Del Rio's got balls the size of a watermelon.
Yeah.
Jeff, did you see that?
No, I was sleeping. Come on.
The Raiders and the Saints are playing, and the Raiders go down and they get within 1 point with a few seconds left on the clock, and Del Rio decides to go for the 2-pointer and the win instead of the tying extra point. And they made
Crabtree did show up, but Crabtree's got to watch what he does. He almost gave it away. That was stupid.
Yeah, that was stupid. That was some coming out of college freshman stuff.
Yeah, and he's not a rookie. Come on, man.
No. He's been in this league long enough to know better than that.
Act like you've been here a while.
No doubt. He's never really been anywhere because he played for the 49ers, although he did play with them when they were in the championships just a few years ago. So he can't say that he doesn't have the pedigree.
Right.
You know
But I mean, with that kickoff, I mean, you don't give Drew Brees at home a chance to come back and march down the field to kick a field goal. And that kid almost hit that field goal, man.
Almost. I thought it went through at first, and then they waited.
Yeah, it wasn't off by much.
No, not very much at all. Okay, next up, it was Mark Ingram of the Saints. His target was 20. He fell to 9.7. Derek actually got that one wrong as he picked him to surpass the 20. All right. Keenan Allen, unfortunately, season-ending ACL. Dude had a season-ending injury last season, and now gone again for another.
Bad. I seen that. That was terrible.
Yeah, you got to feel for the guy, man.
Him and RG3 could share a timeshare.
Yeah, out here in San Diego where it's warm.
At Club Med, right?
Yeah, but here in San Diego where it's warm, not in Cleveland.
Well, they still got a little bit of warm left in Cleveland.
Factory of sadness, Scott.
Okay, moving on. On the Kansas City Chiefs, we actually Spencer Ware target was 18. We all said higher. It was higher at 29.4. Spencer Ware had a game yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you scratch your head and wonder what happens when Jamal Charles is ready to play again.
Charles is done.
He's done in Kansas City, right?
Well, I mean, he'll get some minor touches even if he comes back healthy. But
wouldn't you, if you're Kansas City, wouldn't you try to push him somewhere else so that way at least you could get something for him while he's
the value
valuable?
Yeah, you know what? The problem with Jamar Charles is his history has shown he's injury prone. And it's going to become a problem, just like RG3. He's injury prone. I mean, he can't go a game without getting a hangnail or something.
Somebody else who's been injury prone had a pretty good game yesterday, against a pretty menacing defense. Guy by the name of Arian Foster.
How about that?
Okay. He looked like the Arian Foster of old.
Can we stuff that down Derek's throat on Wednesday, please?
That's what I'm saying.
It's week 1. Don't. There's a long football season left.
I know it's week 1, but I'm just saying.
So you said Arian Foster had a good game yesterday, right?
And again, it's not so much that he had a good game; it's the defense he had it against.
Yeah.
Okay, because you know something, Nick said to sit him.
Yeah, well, there you go. Make sure you highlight that.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? Derek's been hating. If Nick wouldn't have said sit him, Derek would have said sit him.
Yeah. I wouldn't have started him.
Because they've been dogging Arian Foster also.
I wouldn't start.
Nick said sit him on yesterday's show.
And most people probably would have, but the thing is this. If you're down and you ain't got no running backs and you're in Miami, there's only one running back there.
How'd Landry do in yesterday's game?
Huh?
How'd Landry do in yesterday's
We're
game?
getting to that.
You can also shove Victor Cruz down his throat too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one as well. On the Bills side, Sammy Watkins, we all said higher on 16. He finished with 6.3. And the news is, and I don't know if any of you guys remember, as I mentioned this in passing on one of the shows the last few days, I said something about his foot.
Yeah.
And today he is making claims that his foot, his surgically repaired foot, is bothering him.
Wow. Yeah, he still plans on playing. He says he's going to play through it. But the play calling on the Buffalo offense was just so horrendous yesterday, as our friend John pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got all these these talented wide receivers, and they ran the ball more than they threw the ball yesterday. So it just go figure.
Yep. So, and I'm sorry, but Tyrod Taylor had a horrendous game for a guy that just got a $90 million contract.
Yes, he did.
He finished with 5.5 fantasy points.
Yes.
He had a terrible game. I'm going to bust Nick's chops on Thursday.
Tyrod Taylor, 5.54 fantasy points.
I just highlighted his name on the list too because Nick said to play him.
Yeah, keep an eye out for those starters.
All about that guaranteed money.
Yeah, he ain't guaranteed to do shit.
It brings the best out in him, doesn't it?
Just ask Sam Bradford about that guaranteed money.
Woo! Yeah, he's going to enjoy it in Minnesota. If Adrian Peterson don't start running, basically his guarantee is a gift. All right, next up for the Ravens, Justin Forsett. It was 12. We all said lower. We were right. He finished with 7.1. He started out pretty quick, but in the end, I think they started feeding Terrence West more.
He did. West got more. I think he got more carries yesterday.
Yeah.
I think.
Wow,
but here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you right now, the way that situation is, watch out for Kenneth Dixon when he comes back.
Yep. 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think he takes over that whole running game.
Yep.
and I got him stashed in my.
I do too.
I got him on the injured reserve list in one of the leagues.
Yep.
I'm just waiting, because then Weston Forsett will just be a memory at that point. All right, moving right along. Jeremy Langford of the Bears. We all said lower. We did get it right. 17 was the target. He finished with 13.3.
Bears had a good game though against Tennessee. I mean, against Houston for a while. They were
For a little while, yeah.
Yeah.
In the end, Cutler showed who Cutler really is. And that's just the way it usually works out.
Yep.
But anyway, Lamar Miller. We all said higher. The target was 12, and he finished with 13.7.
There you go.
So we all got that one right. Eddie Lacy.
Oh boy.
The target was 10. We all said higher, emphatically higher.
That fat bastard went lower.
8.3.
Yeah, way to go, Lacey.
That whole team was under.
Yes.
They did not look
except
good.
for Rodgers. Rodgers finished with a pretty hefty fantasy
I
total.
don't know. I got some good points from
Well, Nelson scored,
Jordan.
but I mean, they did get some points, but it did not look like the powerhouse Packers that I'm used to seeing or I expected to see.
Bless you.
Well, they just got
Yeah.
Nelson back. And,
Yeah.
Adams, look, if Adams can play the way he played yesterday with Cobb and Nelson, you got the two tight ends that seem to be kind of feeding off each other as far as pushing themselves. With Rodgers, with a combination of Lacy and Starks, I think this Green Bay defense, give it a couple of weeks maybe, and you'll see them starting to gel. They might get that opportunity next week since they're playing the Vikings.
Aaron got to do his discount double check because he ran one in for a touchdown yesterday.
Yeah, there you go.
And their tight end did not get many points yesterday. What is it? Jared Cook?
Jared Cook.
He didn't get much look through a lot of anything yesterday, but I think him and Rodgers, because Rodgers loves his tight ends.
Yes, he
I
does.
think he's going to have a good season.
More people are paying attention to Jared Cook because of the experience factor.
Right.
They know how good Cook is. So that's going to help. That's actually going to help Rodgers out in two tight end sets. So as far as receptions and stuff are concerned. So speaking of Arian Foster, the target was 12 points. We all said lower. We were all right. He finished with 11.5, which
Still had a good game. He still had a good game, though.
That was probably twice as much as I expected him to finish.
Right, exactly.
Figured he'd come up gimping with a pulled hamstring again or something.
Now here's a guy, the Seahawks. This is one that both Nick and Derek have been tooting their horns about all off season.
Michael.
No, Tyler Lockett.
Okay.
Tyler Lockett. We targeted him for 16 points. All of y'all said high except for me. I went low.
And you were the one that was right.
And I was the one that was right because he only scored 3.2.
Jesus.
Okay, we're going to have to bust Derek's chops on that one.
They almost made it sound like Tyler Lockett was an actual lock, no pun intended.
Yeah, because Derek said to play him.
They said it was locked down, play him. He's going to do better than Doug Baldwin. And Baldwin scored like 25 fantasy points. You know how they kept saying all off season, oh no, Baldwin's he's nothing. Lockett's going to take over and da 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 da. Yeah, okay.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Did any Pats receiver have a good game yesterday?
Chris Hogan.
Well, then Nick, you screwed that one up too, didn't you?
Exactly. Right. Who?
The guy they picked up from Buffalo on the free agent market.
Chris Hogan.
Oh, and by the way, in case you didn't notice, Mingo did not play last night.
Oh, what happened?
He just wasn't in.
Oh, he was interviewing for his Pro Bowl. I get it.
I guess.
I get it. All right, next up, Odell Beckham. We all said higher. 18 was the target. 9.3.
Yeah.
They shut him down for the most part last night.
And it's like I said, but you seen how him, And Sterling Shepard and Victor Cruz benefited from the fact that
they each had a touchdown catch. They had more targets.
That's the way it's going to go all year.
Yeah.
Dorsett had a good game too.
It's going to change. It's going to change once they can no longer leave Sterling Shepard open anymore.
Correct.
Because Sterling Shepard is bigger than both these guys.
Yeah.
Both Beckham and Cruz.
Right.
This
have
dude
to
is
decide
big.
Right.
Sterling Shepard is no small kid.
Right. They're going to have to leave somebody on single coverage.
He's built almost like a tight end.
Right.
Right.
And then you got the tight end Donnell. Also.
Yeah. He's a big human being himself.
They're going to have to start paying attention to Shepard, and that's just going to let Odell run buck wild.
If their offensive line could play some football this year and protect Eli, they might do well.
They did a pretty decent job of keeping him upright yesterday. What surprised me is how much of a failure the Cowboys' offensive line was yesterday.
A lot of
that whole right side of that Cowboys line was just exposed. He got beat left and right.
Yeah, a lot of penalties.
Yeah, not a lot of openings.
Giants did have a lot of openings.
Zeke didn't do anything yesterday.
Well, what do you have? 60 yards and 1 touchdown?
Yes.
Everybody said, and you got this one right, Scott. Everybody else said higher. You said lower. Zeke was targeted with 15. He finished with 12.2.
Yeah.
Not great, but not bad considering the kind of or lack of running space he had the whole game. I mean, the touchdown at the end saved him.
Yeah.
That's what put him over the top with the 12.2. But you can see that the kid has, especially with that touchdown and a couple of the other runs that kid's got talent, and he's going to be something to reckon with.
And I'll tell you something.
Early of 2016,
Dak Prescott looked pretty damn good.
Yeah, that totally blew your bold prediction.
Yeah, Dak Prescott looked pretty damn good yesterday. I was kind of shocked.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that little meme I posted with the Cowboy sideline standing.
I saw that. Yeah.
For the pledge of for the national anthem.
Yeah.
And then they got Tony Romo in a wheelchair saying nobody got mad at Tony Romo for sitting down. Why ain't anybody pissed at Tony Romo? He's in a wheelchair with a cast and a freaking walking boot.
Should be holding a sign saying "Gimp Lives Matter."
That's great, Brian.
Will work for clipboard.
There you go. Oh my goodness.
Okay,
all he needs now is long hair and a goatee and a beard. We can call him, go touchdown Jesus, clipboard Jesus #2.
All right, so we're moving on to Amir Abdullah of the Lions. His target was 13. We all said higher. He finished with 20.5.
Yeah, he had a good game yesterday too.
Him and Theo Riddick had a good game yesterday.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't because they played Indianapolis, I say this Detroit, but that Indianapolis defense is pathetic.
It's terrible.
Well, I didn't know if he was going to go that well, but because they had talked about not using him as much of a workhorse, but he got on a hot run there for a while, and then they just left him in.
Well, he got his point, and when they started throwing him some passes and letting him come out of the backfield.
Yeah.
That's when Abdullah is at his best, I think, because it gives him a clear vision downfield. So, all right, moving right along. Andrew Luck, the target was 23. Derek and Scott chose the lower side. Myself and Nick said higher. Luck finished with 34.
Wow. Yeah, he had a good. He despite losing,
5.5.
He pulled
crazy.
He carried the Indy team on his back. He did.
Oh, and Mr. Derek with his, I'm not impressed with Dante Moncrief. I'm not really impressed with that guy at all. So you could keep him. Dante Moncrief had, I believe, 18 fantasy points yesterday, Mr. Derek Laughlin.
Is Moncrief on his list?
I'm looking right now. I don't see it.
Okay.
You don't see Moncrief on there anywhere?
No.
Okay, good, because he has made it clear that he's not a Moncrief fan.
He's on my team. I like Moncrief, man. I'm telling you.
Hey, he gave me plenty of fantasy points last night.
Mhm.
Okay, he outdid T.Y. Hilton, and that kid Dorsett was doing really good.
Dorsett was having some good looks last night. Yeah, I was thinking the wrong game when I was talking about Dorsett earlier.
And Gore played well last night as well.
Yes.
But then again, it is the Detroit defense, and
Right.
we got to take that into consideration. Okay, last two from last night, we had James White, target 14. I was the only one that said higher. He finished with 6.9. And David Johnson,
Whew.
we also had higher. 18 was the target. He finished with 21.2.
Thank you, David.
Good game. Yeah.
Thank you very, very much, David. You know what? We look at the fantasy league right now. Hang on, I keep my desk from falling apart here. Let's see. Let me take a peek over at the fantasy league real quick. We got some close games. There's one game that's actually over and done with. It's the one between Kevin and Brett. Kevin came back. He was down pretty much all day and finished with a 130.3 to a 127.9 victory.
Ooh.
Yeah, by
Ouch.
2.4 points. That's a rough way to lose, isn't it? It looks like Mark Kaplan destroyed Lance. The score there right now currently is 118 to 86. And Lance has a defense playing tonight, and D'Angelo Williams is playing for Mark.
You got the NBA guy playing the MLB guy.
Yeah. It looked like the NBA guy just put it to him hard. Okay, it looks like Josh is going to beat Paul this week. He's up by 22 points. All that Paul's got left tonight is Chris Boswell of the Steelers, and I don't think he's going to kick for 22 points.
Good. As the owner of Josh's team, that's good.
Yeah, so Josh is going to go 1-0. We can call that one. We can call the Mark Lance game. Ronnie and Jeff Higgins. Right now, the score is 88.14 to 87.82.
Wow.
Going into tonight's action.
That's a nice game there.
However, Ronnie has Antonio Brown playing tonight.
There you go.
But Jeff has, well, actually, you know what? I'm not even going to go out there because Jeff has 3 guys playing.
And Ronnie only has 1.
And yeah, but he has Antonio Brown. Okay.
Yeah, so Antonio Brown.
Jeff has Deshaun Jackson, Vance McDonald, and Torrey Smith.
Oh, God.
I think Antonio Brown could outscore all 3 of those guys.
Torrey Smith might have a good night being the number 1 receiver in San Francisco, though. But he's just got to get some targets and get some balls thrown his way.
Rough, though.
Yeah.
Rough. We'll see what happens. I mean, right now it doesn't look good for Ronnie. Let's put it that way. He needs Antonio Brown to outscore all 3 of those guys, which wouldn't be a bad thing for me because more points Antonio Brown gets, the better I beat my opponent this week.
Come on, little man, yeah. Ronnie.
But these guys left some points on the board. Ronnie left Theo Riddick on his bench with 25 points.
Ouch.
Good move.
Yeah. And, I mean, I would have left Theo Riddick maybe, not against Indianapolis, but Jason Witten, he didn't play Jason Witten. Jason Witten had 11.1. And Nelson Aguilar, where the hell did he come from? 13.7 points yesterday.
Jason Witten only had 11 points?
Huh?
Jason Witten only had 11 points?
That's probably about 8 more than people expected him to get with Dak Prescott.
Because Nick said to sit him.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have said sit Jason Witten because I am a firm believer that a quarterback that's new always looks for that tight end.
Nick also picked any Bronco tight end to sit.
That was a good call. No Bronco tight end did anything.
Yeah.
Do they even have a tight end
I don't know.
in Denver? Oh, Virgil Green. Yeah, no, he didn't do anything. He didn't do enough. Okay, so let's see. That leaves the game between Scott
And Nick.
and Nick. Now, Nick has one guy playing tonight, Tavon Austin. He's trailing by 16.42 points. So if Tavon Austin does not score 16.42, you win.
I know. And he left Diggs. He left Diggs on his bench yesterday too.
And you don't have nobody playing.
I would. You know what? I don't think there's anybody. Although, yeah, he left Diggs on his bench to play Tyler Lockett, the All-Star. You know what I mean? The Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he played Lockett instead of Diggs. So go figure.
He'd be beating you. He definitely beat you outright.
Because Austin would have enough points tonight. I mean,
Austin's gonna get I got a feeling Austin might run one back tonight.
He does. I'm gonna be surprised.
You know who was the biggest shock yesterday? I don't know if you guys are gonna agree with me, but I thought this was a humongous shock. DeMarco Murray, 20.2 fantasy.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. You see that leap he made over that defender to score that touchdown yesterday?
Is DeMarco Murray on that list?
DeMarco Murray is on the sit-em list of Derek.
There you go. There you go.
I've been hating on DeMarco Murray.
Yep.
Well, like we talked about in our last night with our show, we DeMarco Murray, I would have started him just because, like I was telling Scott last night, he's going to get more of that Matt Forte kind of role where they're going to be dumping off, and he's great to dump off to in Tennessee, and he'll eat you up. So
how did Matt Forte do yesterday?
Huh? Matt Forte got over 20 fantasy points as well.
Yep.
Okay, so he had a good game yesterday too?
Oh, actually, no. Matt Forte in our league got 18 points. Yeah, Matt Forte is another one that Derek is down
Derek
on.
said to sit him too.
Yeah. Derek doesn't like older running
backs. And Larry Fitzgerald had a great night last night too.
Yeah.
That's another one.
But
what about Jamal Hill? What about Hill?
He's playing against me right now. I've got like a 3+ point lead on him right now. But he's got 2 spots, and I got 1.
Right.
I got Jordan Reed.
He picked the whatchamacallit.
Gurley and the Steelers defense.
Yeah.
I need
trouble.
You know what? I need an all-out score fest tonight between Pittsburgh and Washington.
me too.
With Jordan Reed catching about 2 touchdowns, 8 receptions, about 100 yards or so.
Here's what I need. I need in my money league. I need Jordan Reed to just have the game of his life,
Exactly.
and I've got Jordan Reed and Ben Roethlisberger, and I need them to score 58 points.
Yeah, I've got Big Ben tonight too.
I need Reed to at least get me 30 to 35 because I don't know. I think that if they score a lot, the Steelers' defense points are going to go down, so that's not going to be a factor. Gurley is the only obstacle that I face. And unless San Francisco could pull a rabbit out of their hat on defense, or somebody rolls over on his ankle, Todd Gurley might be the reason I lose tonight. Although I will give you 2 words that will definitively tell you why, if I lose this week, I lost. Russell Wilson.
What do you have, like 10 points?
11 fantasy.
11. Yeah.
11.
Yep.
And he's got a sprained ankle.
And he's got a sprained ankle, which means now I might need to go out and find me another quarterback. It's crazy. He had 11.92 points, while Drew Brees had 31.42. There went the game right down the window.
You know what hurt me and mine was because I have Willie Snead on my bench.
Oh, Willie Snead. That's another.
But I played Odell Beckham, and I played Dante Moncrief, and I sat Willie Snead.
That's the thing. You can't sit Odell Beckham. It defies logic to sit Odell Beckham.
You can't sit.
And I sat Benjamin on Thursday night.
Because the moment you said, I said Benjamin too, at the advice of the fantasy football maniacs.
Right.
And
But I mean, I got
21 points.
Beckham and Moncrief. I have to go with them. You know what I mean?
You got to. You know what? The day you put Beckham on the bench, that's the day he scored 35.
Yeah,
exactly. Same thing with Roethlisberger.
Beckham over Snead. Come on, seriously?
Yeah, you can't. That's not even a choice.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with Roethlisberger. If I sit him and go with my other quarterback, that's the day he has a 6 touchdown game.
Yeah,
exactly. Which could be tonight, considering that these teams don't have great defense.
He's done it before, but I don't see him doing it against the Redskins. Who knows?
No, but the thing is too that I think that won't probably be possible is because they're really thin at wide receiver right now. Wheaton's down. Bryant got suspended. All they got is Antonio Brown. Obviously, that's good enough for most teams.
And Rodgers.
But they got Eli Rogers and Sammy Coates.
Yeah.
Quite proven yet. And
nope.
You know, that could actually allow them to help Josh Norman to cover Antonio Brown, which could make it difficult.
Lots of dump offs tonight to Angelo Williams. Angelo Williams is going to have a big receiving game tonight.
I think that's
Angelo Williams will have a huge receiving game tonight.
You got to remember, Ben loves the spotlight, especially Monday Night Football.
Yeah, he's great on Monday night.
You got to remember, just like Adrian Peterson and a lot of other guys, Ben's getting old, and this is just another season, another year on top of his life's resume. And the situations he's been able to get out of before, he hasn't been able to get out of quite as easily lately. You know what I'm saying?
But their O-line's looking a lot better too.
Yeah. It all depends on how much
they're healthy
can keep the offense on the field.
Right.
You see, they got to keep them on the field.
Yep.
But with Washington and the weapons that they have, because Kirk Cousins ain't no slouch.
Oh, hell no. No.
That's
what scares me.
They got some gazelles running out there, including Jordan Reed in the secondary.
Steelers secondary is what's scaring me tonight.
Yes, the secondary is always
that's what could be the downfall, because Kirk Cousins not afraid to go over the top, and that could be a tough one.
You got Deshaun Jackson, who's pretty quick.
So at any rate, I mean, Derek and I are. There hasn't been more than like a 12-point difference since we started all day yesterday. Now it's like 3.5 points. I don't know where it's going to end up, but this has been probably one of the most frustrating fantasy games I've ever been involved in, because neither one of us can shake the other. And it's funny because if you look at the picks for the week, Derek and I are also tied at the top of the pick list as well at 11-3. I know Nick is 10-4.
I'm 9-7.
Scott's 9-5 at the moment.
9-5. I'm sorry, 9-5.
Yeah. I think with the teams we picked tonight, though, we picked Pittsburgh and LA.
I think I did too. Yeah, I think I picked both.
I'm planning on finishing 13-3 for the week. Jeff 7-7. He should finish 9-7 because he picked Pittsburgh and LA as well. We all picked Pittsburgh and LA.
Right.
So, but interesting week. A bunch of guys finished with 9. I think that was the most. That was the bracket where most people resided this week, was 9.
Yeah, that's T11 tied for 11th place.
Yeah.
In the league.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people tied for 9.
And then I think 8th is like 5 or 6 people.
5 people tied for 8th.
Yeah.
3 people tied for 7th, and the rest suck. You got 6-0. So what other words?
So currently the numbers for the higher lower, and that's including the ones from Thursday. Scott and I have 22 out of 32. Derek has 21 out of 32, and Nick has 20 out of 32. So Scott and I are at the top there on the higher lower picks.
Not bad.
Which is
Not bad.
cool. Now, the other stuff that we did was the best game and most points. Remember those?
Yes.
All right. So 4 of the best games were resolved. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 8 have already been resolved. The ones for most points still need to be determined, except for maybe the bottom 2. But anyway, let me go over these real quick. The question was, who would have the better game, Abdullah, Gordon, or Michael? Scott picked Melvin Gordon, who was representative with 17.7 fantasy points. And I stuck him on the bench in my other league, but didn't really need him. I went with Christian Michael.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well.
I need to stop listening to Derek and them because this has been happening since last year.
Did Rawls and Michael have 16 points total together combined?
Combined, Michael's had 8. I know that.
Rawls had, on my league and on my PPR league, Rawls had 12 because he did get a touchdown.
Yeah, let me check it.
No, he didn't. He had 12 or 32 yards and 3 for 26 yards receiving.
Let me check real quick. Thomas Rawls. Yesterday he scored 7.3. So no, they didn't combine. They had 4.
I got more because of the PPR league than I'm in. That's why.
Yeah, we only have a half point PPR here.
Oh, okay.
So, but he had 7 points. So they finished with 15.4 combined in my league.
Combined? That's horrible. Yeah,
it is. But that's what you get when you listen to Derek and Nick. Sometimes you get horrible.
Well, it's just hard for a guy to get on a good tear when you're running that committee.
Right.
So
Amir Abdullah took that particular session. He came out with 20.5. In the wide receiver, there were John Brown, who finished with 1.3. Yeah, 1.3. That would be a catch for 3 yards, wouldn't it? A 3-yard catch. That was the extent of his offensive production last night. All right, and Dante Moncrief had 15.4, which is a very representative game. But we all got it right with Doug Baldwin, who in this league finished with 19.7.
Nice.
As opposed to the guy who is going to be taking over his spot, who finished with 3.2. Yeah. Okay.
Tyler Lockett.
All right. So in the quarterbacks, it was Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, and Ben Roethlisberger. Obviously, Roethlisberger still hasn't played. Derek and Scott took Carr. He finished with 22.36. And I took Russell Wilson. Hate him.
You only took him because he was on your team. That's why.
11.92. Ezekiel Elliott scored more than you, my friend. All right, Todd Gurley, of course, he plays tonight. We all picked Gurley to have the best game between him, Doug Martin, and Latavius Murray. In order for him to accomplish that, he would have to outscore Murray tonight with a minimum of 13.8 points.
What did
Martin?
Martin? Yeah,
12.1.
Okay,
not bad. No. Charles Sims had a pretty good game too.
Yeah. Sims had a good game. Winston had a humongous game yesterday.
Safarian Jenkins even caught a touchdown yesterday.
Yes, Austin Safarian Jenkins has come out of the woodwork, and you can rub that in Derek's face.
Jay is in the house.
Yes.
All right. Receivers: Allen Robinson, DeAndre Hopkins, and Amari Cooper.
I took Cooper.
We all took Cooper. And Cooper had the best game, 18.7. Hopkins, 13.9. And Allen Robinson, 10.2. In the tight ends, obviously Jordan Reed still needs to play tonight. That's who we all picked.
Yeah.
They had the better game.
Excuse me.
Julius Thomas finished with 14.9. And the biggest rave of them all, one of the bigger raves that these guys, Nick and Derek, Clive Walford. Remember how much they were elevating Clive Walford? He finished with 4 points.
See if he's on their list.
Clive Walford.
Yeah, both of them had him in starting.
Both of them. Wow. Man, this is going to be fun on Thursday. Yeah. Are you ready, Jeff? Jeff's going to have a field day with these guys.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this.
All of a sudden, I think Jeff's going to have a whole new appreciation for Stardom Cinema.
I think the 63-year-old Antonio Gates had more points than Clive Wolford.
Did he? Did he really?
I think he did have more points than Wolford,
because Derek said to sit Antonio Gates.
I'll tell you right now. Antonio Gates, no, he had 3.5.
Did he? I thought
half a
I remember seeing some good highlights with him yesterday, though. I thought he was having a better game.
Half a point. They stressed to start Walford, but they said sit Gates. It didn't matter either way.
Right.
They both blew ass yesterday.
How is it possible to suck and blow at the same time?
Oh, man. Oh, no.
Yes, Monica.
Okay.
Well, there's two of them. One can suck and the other one can blow.
In the tight ends, I picked Delaney Walker, and he finished with 5.7. That was not pretty offense by Tennessee. The only guy there that did anything. Actually, you know who did good? To Jay Sharp.
Who?
Yeah. He was a sleeper pick with a lot of experts.
I got him on a couple of my rosters. To Jay Sharp. He scored like 14 or 15 fantasy points yesterday.
Yeah, you're right, Brett. You're right, because what's his name was going off on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers was losing his mind on camera.
Yeah. All right, and you guys picked the correct one, which was Travis Kelce. He finished with 10.4. And, I wanted to spare Scott just a little bit, but, the next guy had a donut, and his name was Gary Barnage.
Yeah. Sorry. That's all right.
Finished with a donut yesterday.
And you know what though? With McCown at the helm, he'll get more. He'll get more targets.
Now he will.
Yeah. Now he will because McCown and Barnage have a great rapport back and forth. So yeah, that'll
Kelce got most of those points in the last 5 minutes of the game too.
Yeah.
So anyway, tomorrow we'll cover the three that weren't completed. We got about 12 minutes before game time, so let me get through these last ones with the more points. Let's see. We all chose Antonio Brown to have more points. He obviously hasn't played yet.
Right.
Odell Beckham was one. He obviously 11 point whatever. He doesn't qualify. The other wide receiver, though, on this list, Antonio Brown's going to have his work cut out for him because you said he'd score 30. Derek said he'd score 28. And I decided to go like right in the middle with 29.
Yeah, 29, yeah.
Well, Brandon Cooks scored 30.4 points yesterday.
Whoa.
He had a 98-yard touchdown reception. You know what a 98-yard touchdown reception? That's like 17 fantasy points by itself.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got him on one of my other teams, not any of my money team, but one of my other ones just for fun teams.
So Antonio Brown would have to get 30.5 tonight. Not that it's impossible, because
it could happen.
A 40 burger on him easily.
I don't think Josh Normans can cover Antonio Brown. I don't think anybody can
but
cover.
I think what will help Josh Norman in this particular case is that they don't have another experienced receiver on the other side of the field.
Right. Yeah.
Or in the slot. So they're going to have to rely heavily on the tight end, which is Jesse James, to try to get more coverage in the middle to free up Antonio Brown a little bit, because I don't think they're going to, unless one of these other guys breaks out, Coates or Rodgers. I think Antonio Brown sees, and he's Antonio Brown, so he's going to get his, but I don't think he'll have a huge game like Brandon Cooks unless one of the other guys steps up and starts wreaking havoc on the defense.
I like Rodgers' chances, though. He's a good kid. I'm liking him on the team.
We'll see what happens under the bright lights in the nation's capital tonight. All right. In the running backs, we had Ezekiel Elliott, 12.2. Obviously, he didn't finish with the most points. We all chose Gurley. And who was it that said 32? Derek said he'd score 32, right?
Tonight, yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to need to because David Johnson had 21.2. So he's going to need at least 21.3 points tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping he doesn't get it, not just because of this, but because I need Derek to lose. I need Gurley to have a bad game tonight. I need him to have a Tyler Lockett game tonight. All right. And finally, in the quarterbacks, the low end was Blake Bortles with 15. That makes Jeff happy. See,
Way to go, Blake.
Bortles and James comes through again.
Yeah, they'll be here next weekend.
You guys chose Eli Manning. You said he'd score 25 points, and he scored 18.28.
Jesus.
I chose Carson Palmer. He scored 18.94. So
he barely beat out on Eli. Barely beat out Eli.
Barely. But we definitely put a whooping on Blake Bortles.
How did David Carr do?
David Carr had 22 points. So he did good.
What about James? What about Winston?
Jameis Winston had a phenomenal game. 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards passing.
Do the math.
And Cousins plays tonight, right?
Yes.
Cousins plays tonight. Yep.
Yeah, because Derek had Carr, Manning, and Cousins tonight.
And finally, in the tight end section, Scott, you chose Kobe Fleener, targeted with 10. He scored 1.6.
Oh, Jesus.
That's not bad. I had Jared Cook targeted at 12, and he scored 1.7.
Yep.
I scored you by a yard, yo. Finally, the win was Derek. He said 14 points for Zach Ertz, who finished with 23.2 points against the Brownies defense.
Oh, geez.
And now Zach Ertz is hurt.
Yeah.
So there might have gone his whole fantasy season, or at least part of it anyway. And that basically catches us up with everything until we discuss tomorrow. Remember, tonight we got Pittsburgh at Washington, the Rams at the 49ers. For tonight, we've got everybody going on the higher side with Antonio Brown, 25. Kirk Cousins, 20. Everybody's going higher except Nick. He says Kirk Cousins is going to score under 20 points. Everybody's going high with Todd Gurley at 23 or better. Mm-hmm. And finally, Torrey Smith. Everyone's going lower with a target of 14 fantasy points.
Yeah, that'll do it.
There you go.
And I think that's it, guys, until tomorrow. Tomorrow, first hour, NFL and all this good
MLB.
Stuff, a little bit of Raw, and then Lance at 7 o'clock, right?
Yeah, we got baseball.
Again, I will not be here tomorrow. I'm going to be at dinner.
That's right. He won't be here tomorrow.
Right.
Baseball
Brian,
tomorrow.
So if you feel like coming to the show tomorrow, you can come on in and hang out with us for the whole 2 hours if you want.
I'll try to, man. If I get the chance to and I'm free, I will definitely.
You're not going to get the benefit of me sending you a link because I won't be home.
That's all right.
I'll send it to you on Facebook. I mean on Skype.
That'll work.
Love baseball.
Yeah.
And it's getting to that time where baseball is going to start becoming very
3 weeks, baby. Magic number of 5 right now. Go Cubbies.
Hey, with all that being said, dude, you know what? For a team that's rebuilding and was given no chance to do anything this year, my Yankees are hanging tough.
They are. They won't go away.
As much as we want them to go away, they won't go away.
These youngsters got an attitude about this too.
Yeah. So we got that tomorrow. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're playing the Dodgers tonight. The Yankees are.
Ooh, where in New York, right?
New York, yeah.
Cubs and Cardinals, 7 o'clock. Well, 8 o'clock Eastern.
Wow. There you go. So
lots of good TV on tonight, fellas.
Yep.
Hey, guys, thanks for another great show.
Yep. Let's get the flock out of here. Football is on. We got a lot of more footballs to watch here. So thanks, everybody.
Ready to kick off, too.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with another edition of Sports World Radio. Until then, my friends, remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable. For Scott the Sports Nerd, Brian Scooter, Elliot Biggie Lamba, I'm Jeff Eskin.
Thanks for listening to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskin and Elliot Big E Lamba. Online at sportsworldradio.com. Sports World Radio, the equal opportunity river. We'll catch you next time.